And then hopefully, Isabel, you've got to accept, I believe, right, Lisa?
Yes.
Okay, and then I'm going to try and invite you as well.
Awesome.
Okay. Um, Hang on, guy. Hi, everyone. We are live. Lisa and I, welcome, welcome.
Welcome. We're just trying to connect to
Um,
Instagram.
Maybe. Hmm. Oh, here we go. There we go.
All right. All right.
There we go. Oh, Isabel is unable to join. So, Naveed, I might have to not have you on Instagram, Lisa, and just have Isabel, because I'm not sure why we can't do multiple people.
I think it was a live. Okay, I have my sound off. Is your sound off?
Yeah. Oh, now it is.
Okay, there. No echo. Woohoo! Okay. Was there a live where four of us can get on?
Well, there's only three of us.
Right, but I think Liz, Izzy sent you something about getting four of us on. So
Yeah,
up
but
to
if
four
I'm on
people.
Instagram, I had talked to Naveed, and I'm just going to have you go off and have her on.
Okay.
I'm hoping she'll be able to get on.
Well, thank you
Yes.
everyone for coming on board. We really appreciate. There's three of us there.
Oh,
See?
well, I don't know what happened. It said Isabel couldn't get on. So, you guys, okay. We're praying. Oh, that was a little glitch in the beginning, and I do apologize for that. Even after these many times that I've been doing this live, Lisa and I have been doing these
Years.
lives, we're still having technical difficulties. So, if I could have a whole room of you youngins in here, I probably would never have any problems. But we have a very good tech person that helps all of us, especially Lisa and I, Naveed. So thankful for him. So anyway, welcome to our live. We're gonna have some good conversations here, I think, today.
I know. I'm excited.
I know. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you. There's a volume up here, I think, but oh, they can't hear me. I don't know.
And Isabel, you might have to turn your volume down, maybe.
Turn your
Oh.
volume down on your Instagram.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
We're off? Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Isabel is here. She's my daughter-in-law. She's married to Jacob. So we're going to have some conversations with her in about a few minutes. But I just really wanted to welcome everyone here. Thank you so much. Boy, what a weekend. I don't know about you guys, but I was not feeling very well. I don't know what it was, gut issues. I was sick for a couple of days. Then it went away. I was invited to a concert. I couldn't go to that. I was really, really bummed. And
Oh,
then
Oh.
and then I struggled to go to another concert, Lola. We heard Lola and
yes.
Neil. They sang
Okay.
at my wedding. In fact,
Right.
you guys, they're going to be at the charity event that I'm having on June 24th. So I'm really excited about that. But it was like just moving slow. I don't know what the problem was. I'm
A
probably
lot of people were
95.
worried about you. I saw a
Oh,
lot of things on, different,
well,
sites saying,
you've
are
been
you
there.
okay?
Yeah, you've
Yes,
been
I've
there
been there
several
when
times.
that's happened. Yes.
And it can be like very bad, or it can be like, okay, I have no time for this. You're enough to irritate me. Let's get over it.
Right.
But I don't, well, obviously, we didn't do anything. Chris and I didn't do anything really for Memorial Day, but we worked in our yard. He put mulch around. I did some flower pots, some herb gardens. But for us in the States, we have Memorial Weekend, really remembering our military and their families. Who have served in our military and who have died. So it's really remembering them. and the sacrifice they made, and those that are still serving today. To me, Memorial Day is one of those things, regardless of what you think about war. I mean, no one wants war. War is horrible.
No.
But, I'm grateful that people are willing to serve and go in there. And that's why I'm a big, I try to be anyway, a big advocate to help out our veterans that do come back
Absolutely.
and their
Absolutely.
families. We
Yeah,
often
because
think about the soldiers, but talk about mental health. Oh my goodness. Um, we often think about the soldier, but it's the families too that are serving and making that sacrifice as well. So,
right, right. And I think people forget that Memorial Day isn't about having a day off. I mean, it's about the,
we're grateful for
soldiers
it, but
and grateful for, right, but still.
yeah.
So,
No, you're
yes,
right.
yeah,
You're right.
I
And
know.
we got our flag out because I've been wanting it out for the last couple of weeks, but we just kept forgetting. But we put it out Saturday just to, it's our country is definitely going through its thing, but the core belief of how our country started and the meaning, a lot of it behind it. I'm a big fan. You got to stand for something, but nothing's going to be perfect.
Yeah, for sure, for
And
sure.
believe me, the states aren't perfect.
I know.
you know.
That
Well,
is,
so
that is
welcome
true.
everyone. Thank you for coming to our live. What are we talking about today, Lisa?
We are talking about motherhood, relationships, women's health, all sorts of fun things. And we're just going to make it kind of light. Nobody's here to give judgment or to give advice. We're just here kind of in a forum to
It's all
talk
from our
about
own personal perspective.
own personal perspective. And I think
Yeah.
that's why we're so grateful to have Izzy on because,
Yes.
how old's Mateo now?
18
15 months?
months.
18 months. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I
So
know.
you're
They grow
new
so
at
fast.
this. I know. For
Yeah.
sure. For
Well, part
sure.
of that thing is when you first have a baby, you're like, oh my gosh, lack of sleep. I'm only getting 2 hours, 4 hours. They're crying. Do I know what to
Yeah.
do? And, all this stuff. You wonder, okay, I knew my life was going to change, but I'm not quite sure why it changed. It's dramatic. And then you wonder if you're
Oh,
ever going to get through it. But once you get over those first month, 2 months, maybe three, then it kind of like, okay, hopefully, I think I've got it. But let's do some shout outs, right, Lisa? We've got
yes.
Shirley Brown from Stowe, Vermont.
Woohoo. And John Martin from Idaho. How do you say
Well,
Idaho, Amy?
Idaho. I say Idaho. I don't know why. Idaho. Idaho.
Idaho.
Oh my
Idaho.
gosh.
Okay.
Andrea Miller, Portland, Oregon. Well, Andrea,
Woohoo.
thank
Welcome.
you.
Yes.
Local.
And Corey Williams from San Francisco. And we are working on the echoes. It looks like it's resolved now on Instagram. There were a lot of people saying there's echoing, but now it sounds better. And so I think we've resolved that. So let
Yeah,
us know.
hopefully we have. But just to give people an idea, we are all not in the same place, as some of you may know. Lisa's out of the country in Cabo. Oh, gee whiz,
Woohoo.
lucky her. Isabel is over at Roloff Farms because Jacob is working on the farm, and
Awesome.
I'm here in my house. So just think about that concept. We are able to go live. We've got Lisa in a different country. I'm in a different location. Isabel's in a different location. So parts of me is like, I can really understand how technology could be, kind of
Challenging,
crazy.
kind
Yeah.
of challenging, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we
So
want to make
anyway,
this work. Everybody loves getting together,
yeah.
and we just did one live 2 weeks ago. So this is very cool, getting back together quickly.
Well, we're
So,
praying this one goes a lot better than last time.
oh yeah, yeah, yes.
Okay,
So,
let's give some shout out. Let's say hi to some people here. We've got Andrea from Maine and
ooh, and I just want to shout out to Kingsley, Texas. I didn't get the person's first name.
wow.
They said Kingsley, Texas. Welcome, welcome.
Who else do we have here? Let's see here. Oh, here's one big question I got to ask because everyone asks me. Republican Dominican. We have, hi from Chicago. Uh, Next door neighbor, hi from Connecticut.
Oh, Fife,
Um,
Washington.
oh, wow. Margaret, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee.
Ooh.
I don't know if you can see any of these, Isabel.
Um,
California,
yeah.
Ohio. Oh, Debbie from Hillsboro, Oregon. Hello,
Deb.
Hillsboro.
Wait, is
Is
that
it
Deb?
Deb?
No,
It's
it's
Deb.
spelled differently. No, it's spelled
Oh.
differently. No, Deb's
Oh,
working. Deb is working right now.
okay.
Hi,
I
Deb.
know.
Anyway,
Oh,
hi, Debbie.
Northern Michigan.
Hey, I saw somebody from Chile, and I
Yes.
just
I
have to
did
say,
too.
my dad is, for those who don't know, my dad
Yeah.
was born in Chile, so
Yeah.
shout
Yeah.
out Chile.
No, Isabel,
Very
I'm amazed.
cool.
We have everyone all over the world here.
Yeah.
I'm just astounded.
Mhm.
You
That's
know,
amazing.
So fun.
we have Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky. Hello from Pittsburgh on Instagram.
Okay,
Costa Rica.
someone's saying my
Costa
sound is
Rica.
bad now.
No, I
Weird.
can hear you fine. Well,
Okay.
that's the thing I was saying a little bit about, we're all over we're in all different places. So it may not be as crisp or as clear as if we were all sitting in this round table with a
Right.
microphone and headphones. So there might be a little bit of some stuff.
Well, we should,
Yeah.
first of all, we should do that sometime.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
We
all
should.
do it in the same place. And second, if you are watching, maybe if you turn your sound down so it's not like full volume, it might be a little bit better, because sometimes when it's at full volume, it just, the sound, iPhone
Yes.
quality sound
Yes.
doesn't always come
It
through.
isn't Isabel great? I text her several times thinking, Isabel, I've got to know how to do this one thing really quick. I asked a question on Instagram. I don't know how to get their answers.
I know.
And she's
I'm
like,
thinking
okay,
all
this is
the
how you do
times
it.
I've helped you with Instagram, and like you said, it's just, if you're different generations,
Yeah.
like Instagram is
Exactly.
relatively new. So
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, like
someone
I
said
mentioned
yes.
before.
They turned their sound down and it worked. So that's
Oh,
cool.
good.
All
Good.
right.
And the one thing that I say is I'm paranoid. Technology paranoids me because you've got such a tool here and so much information that you have put on your own computer or your own phone and things like that. And I'm afraid that I hit one little thing and poof,
Poof. Yes.
it all goes away. And then when it
Yeah.
goes away, I'm like, okay, how do I get this back? Oh, look at that. I left.
Right.
Oh, Instagram. You probably could see my little pantry door. I left it open.
That's one thing I will say too about technology. And I've had so many phones in the past, or like, just if you don't back up your phones and you lose everything, it's such a fear of mine. So
Yeah.
print your photos, just like all the photos that are stored on our phones. I just think about
Yeah.
this generation too, about like how we have these physical
Yes.
copies that our parents left us. Like my mom, she took photos, but I have them in physical copies. And I don't want Mateo to be like, well, all the photos of me are stored on a computer or a phone somewhere. So I try to be
Yeah.
really good about printing
Right.
my
Right.
photos.
Oh,
Like
you're
I'm
good.
Yes.
religious
You're
about it. I
good.
have too many photos of that kid already, but I just want to be able to have them,
You know what? I say
Right.
never enough photos because like what you say, and we gave the example before, like when we go to the airport, everyone's doing their ticket on their phone. And I'm thinking,
Yes.
what happens if everything canceled? What
Yeah.
happens if your phone ran out of battery?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I always do a printout and I use my printout. I never want to, lose that habit. And so, like you said, Isabel, if you lose your phone or you didn't back up or something, you drop your phone in the water and you can't retrieve it. And God knows I have an Apple and iCloud. I don't even understand that concept, but it's good to print out photos because you can really take that anywhere and everyone can see it kind of like at one time. But if you got this little
Mhm.
phone, it's good for you,
Right.
but it's not as friendly to share and have other people look at it. So
Yeah.
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 anyway,
Well, hey,
so
we're going to try and get a lot of our fans on today. And we have one comment already from Kylie Cook. We have Anzac Day in April in Australian. Not sure what that is. Maybe somebody can let us know.
I don't know that
ANZAC
either.
Day in April in Australian, but that was a message that we had saved. So I'm going to go
Okay.
back to Linda.
How
for
are you
Roseburg
finding this?
in our pinned messages. We have two people behind the scenes. One is Naveed, and then we were talking about Memorial Day. And the other person is Liz, who's helping us today too. So she'll be capturing some comments that we can try and jump in, because we don't want to just the three of us talk to each other. We want to bring in people. So we're going to kind of try to stay on track with our outline and where we're at. Amy?
No,
Wink, wink.
never.
Okay.
I like to chit chat and answer questions from people.
Yes, so that's what we're going to do, is I'll kind of find the questions here that Liz will pull up for us, and then I'll jump in.
Okay,
So,
because I can't pin them. Oh, there we go. Pin
Mhm.
messages one.
Yes.
Now I see it.
Yes, yes.
People, I'm
Okay.
learning something all the time. Oh my goodness.
So we have some fun stuff today. We're doing a giveaway for 4 people. Amy, do you have what we're going to
Yes,
give
I
away?
do. I didn't bring it here. Hang on.
Oh,
Keep talking.
okay. Okay, we're going to do a giveaway. We just launched our summer fudge, which is root beer float, red, white, and boom, classic chocolate, and Oregon berry. So Amy was
Can I
going
win
to
this?
show you. Yeah, well, we'll just give you a box. You don't need to win. Look at that. There's the red, white, and boom, the classic chocolate, the berry, Oregon berry, and the root beer float. But Izzy will definitely get you a box to go.
Okay.
So I think Amy's got some there. Okay.
Okay, obviously, I really like the root beer, or we did. Root beer fudge tastes like root beer float.
Float.
If you like ice cream with berries on it and maybe a little whipped cream or something like this, the berry fudge, that's what it tastes like. It's awesome.
Awesome.
This is like a party fudge. So if you like birthday cake with the little sprinkles and stuff like that, even though it's different colors, it's not like it tastes like blueberry, strawberry, or whatever. But it tastes like a party cake. Like, let's celebrate.
Red, white,
And then, of
boom.
course, see my plate? And then chocolate. Who cannot resist chocolate? I mean,
Oh my
come on.
gosh.
A glass
Oh
of
my
red
gosh.
wine and chocolate. Isn't that good, Isabel? Yes. Or maybe a cup of
Yes.
coffee or even tea sometimes. But anyway, that's our summer
Yum.
fudge.
Okay, so if you guys would like to try our summer fudge, we're going to give away 4 boxes of the fudge, one lucky winner from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we are going to give you a code at the end of our show here. And you guys can just put that in the comment section, and then we'll pick 4 lucky winners. And if you don't happen to make it, you can also get it on Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen website. So, or amyjroloff.com website. So anyway, stick around for that. Everyone says they can't hear me on Instagram at all. I don't know why.
I don't know.
You can't win.
Can't
No,
wait.
you can't. I don't know.
Yeah. So,
I don't know what to tell you.
okay.
But
Lisa,
make
there
sure-
is an option. You see the little microphone, is just make sure you're not muted on IG.
yeah, make sure you didn't
I'm
mute
not.
yourself. You just turned the volume down.
I didn't mute myself. I turned it off. Yeah. Yeah. I just turned the,
Can you talk, Izzy?
yeah, they can't hear me.
Yeah, can you hear me on IG? Because I have my volume all the way down too.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, Lisa, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
So what made the difference?
Well, we're gonna keep flowing here because we can mess with technology till the
If
cows
you
come
are on
home.
IG and you want to keep watching, head over to Facebook because we're also live on Facebook.
Yes, that would be easier. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
All
But I
right,
wanted-
let's get
yeah.
going.
But we
So-
can hear Isabel, and I really wanted Isabel to have the opportunity to share some of her thoughts on motherhood and well-being, and just some of her, what her perspective, her experience of going through having this miracle upon miracles happen in her life. And to me, that's what I consider being able to have kids. But even if you haven't had natural kids, if you're a foster mom or even a grandparent, taking care of your grandkids or something, or even a woman who profession or vocation or whatever is taking care of kids. I think a lot of these, things can be relatable. They're not the same,
Right.
but can be relatable. So
Right, right.
anyway,
So thank you, Izzy, for showing up, because a lot of what you post are things we're talking about now. So mental health and motherhood, having a baby, postpartum depression, those are all things. Amy and I haven't had that experience for many, many years. So
yeah.
it's hard for us to kind of go
It's a
back.
little bit
I
more
know,
fresh for me.
yeah, it's a little more fresh. So
Well,
maybe,
I definitely know I haven't had postpartum depression. I think that can end up being a very serious thing. And I think anytime you have a baby, some women have more hormonal depression, mental, whatever, physicality, physical changes, and all that stuff more than some others. And each individual is different on how their body
Mhm.
embraces that. And then after they have the baby and stuff like that. But Izzy, why don't we just share a little bit about however you want to share?
Yeah.
Um,
Having
you know,
Mateo, what was that like afterwards? What did you
Yeah.
experience? And these are some of the things you've shared too on your site. So,
Yeah. Um, I had Mateo in December 2021, and I've always had anxiety since I was young, and so I would just say that it's pretty natural to experience some anxiety postpartum.
yeah.
And I found myself really, I know people gave me this advice: go out and do things, because it can get really easy to just kind of stay at home, and then the ripple effect, you can kind of just start to wallow. I didn't want to do that, so I made the conscious effort to go outside every day, take him out, go on walks, and that was huge for my mental health. I would recommend it. I mean, take it easy, take it slow, because you're still healing, really. So I didn't do anything rigorous. I just walked every single day, and getting outside in the fresh air, it was really good for both of us. And
let me ask you a question, and sorry to interrupt, but let me ask you a question right then and there. Because some people, you're right, some people become stagnant, they become comfortable, and they don't, because their body has changed, they don't want to get out. They don't want everyone else to see, their belly is still poofy, from having a
yeah,
kid, and they think they're going to go back to their same self after they had a kid and everything.
yeah.
And when you said just how did you, was it just a thought that says you hung on to, that you needed to get up and out? Because one of the things, like, it helped you to get up and go outside and embrace the fresh air and the sunshine or even the rain or whatever. But I also think it's important, whether we realize it or not, for the baby, for Mateo,
Yeah.
to get out there too. So kind of like, what motivated you? Or you just had, this was an advice from someone that was enough of a motivating factor for you to get up and do it?
I think, yeah, also just having him, and it's just like the juxtaposition of being, you know, you just did this crazy thing, giving birth, however you give birth, no matter how you do it. It's hard, and
Yeah.
you go through that, and you're, like you said, your body changes. I had the ab separation, so like you said, my belly was still poofed out, still looked like I was a couple months pregnant, things like that. um and I think just seeing him, this brand new baby, this, like you said, miracle,
Hmm.
and I just wanted to experience life with him, and I wanted him to know how much joy he brought me, and so trying to like emulate that, like just feeding off of each other, like the joy
Hmm.
he gave
Hmm.
me and the joy I
Hmm.
gave him. I
Hmm.
really love to sing, so I sang to him all the time. That was really helpful for me and him. He really enjoyed that. And I just really wanted to, he really inspired me to like be the person I want to be. Like
Yeah.
he really made me feel like I want to be a better person. And it would be really, and in my past, it's easy to just kind of sit and get stuck, feel stuck. And I think that seeing him and seeing this brand new life and all the potential and possibilities we could have together, I just thought, I want to get out there and live. And I think if you put it off too long, say
Mm-hmm.
going out to even a coffee shop, then it just becomes this daunting thing. So I wanted to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, if he has a blowout, okay, if he, pukes
That's
or
life.
cries. Yeah, it's like people, and actually I experienced some of the most kindness from strangers ever when I
Mhm.
went out with my baby, because people are like, how can I help you? Can I open the door for you? Can I carry that for you? Because people are recognizing, like, whether you have one baby or three,
Mhm.
you do have your hands full. And so strangers step up, and it's a really like beautiful opportunity to see how people can actually be so kind and helpful. And I took him to a concert. I went to a concert by myself. Like, I think just having him inspired me to live more. And I know a lot of people say, oh, having a kid can kind of, you know, make it so you
Damper your
can't do
life.
XYZ. Yeah, your life stops when you have a kid. And it's like, I disagree.
It
I feel like
changes.
I
It
just
it
kept
yeah,
it
it
moving.
changes. It becomes different.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, like one of the
Definitely.
things that I know that I still remember to this day when I had kids, because I know you, Isabel, you had lost your mom when you were about 15 years old,
17, yeah.
17, and which is still a very impressionable, impactful season of a young girl, woman's life to lose her mom. And then to go through, experiencing this and wanting to share with her. Not that I went through anything like that, but having moved and everything in a state, I didn't know a soul, I didn't know anybody. And then, let alone living on a farm, I felt very alone and like no one to call. Like, who do I call? I talk to my sister a lot, but she's in Michigan and stuff like that. But the whole point being is that when I had kids, it was very impactful to me personally because I realized how much I got into my own space, being a little person, being different, all the way from kindergarten, grade school, junior high, high school, even into college. How I was just so focused on like me that I really didn't realize, or maybe I really didn't see people, how they were really responding. I only saw what I thought I was responding, but is that really how, I was supposed to be reacting? But when I had kids, I thought, I can't do that anymore. I have to get out of myself, out of, whether I'm doing this right or pleasing other people or, I thought these two kids, because I had twin boys first, are dependent on me. And then I went the other way because I think I was all by myself, no friends, no family here, that those kids were my life. I did everything with them all day, all the time. And I was thinking, boy, time for myself. How can you have time for yourself?
Yeah.
These kids are 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's
Right.
actually,
Well,
oh,
oh,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Lisa.
Okay, we have a question from Sherry Shiloh. My daughter works 40 plus hours a week, cooks, cleans, bathes my granddaughter, and sometimes feels like she's failing.
You know what? That is a tough question because sometimes it's very hard to help motivate someone and help them to believe that you are doing everything that you should be doing and that you are not failing because you are providing for your child. You are working at probably a very successful job or, putting a roof over your kid's head, food on the table. And I think the older that child gets, they're going to recognize the dedication, the love, the work, and everything that they did. And I think the thing that I tell people there, because I fortunately didn't have to work and raise kids. I was a stay-at-home mom. Not that I wasn't working, but when you don't have that element of a 40-hour work, it's different. It's completely different. But the thing I would tell her is Sherry here, not to tell her not to sweat the small stuff. If you don't get laundry done all the, absolutely when you put it in the laundry in the dryer and fold it up, don't worry about it. I don't know how old her kids are, or if you don't clean up the dishes in the sink, right after dinner. Don't worry about it. Because to me, if you can take a moment to read a book or have a conversation with your daughter, or just let them talk, or just sit with them and watch them play, your presence in that moment in their life to me is critical and very, very important, because what they will remember is that you were there. What do you think, Izzy?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's I was just going to say, I've been seeing this going around, and it's just kind of like the concept of you and the role you have in your children's life and your family's life cannot be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you ever feel like and I feel like a lot of moms feel this way, when I put Mateo down for the night, I'm thinking like, oh, did I do enough? A lot of moms can tend to feel like they're failing. And like you said, especially if you're working and you feel like you might not be able to give enough to everyone, but you also
Because you're
have to
not baking the cookies and
yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not failing. There's no way you can fail because you are so vital and important. Your role is so important in your family's life, but your child's life specifically, like they don't know anything else. They love you. You are their mom, and they are so grateful that you're their mom. That's all they know.
And
Absolutely.
and and I think,
Absolutely.
some people, I think poo-hooed, maybe not, when you don't think you can handle your child, whether he's crying or not obeying or whatever like that, sometimes it's step out of the situation for a moment, even if it's just to go in the bathroom and do some breathing thing and just bring yourself to a place and just say, go play in your room, go play
Yeah.
toys or whatever. Because sometimes you just need that second or two or a few moments to walk away and come back with a different perspective, in the sense of, I left work, that did not enter the house. If whatever job you had, the job I have now is being a mom inside this house. And so, don't be afraid to, just take a moment to, just for
Yeah,
yourself.
I
Yeah, just
agree.
for yourself.
Well, we have another comment from Anita McLaughlin. So true. I have both, and I don't always feel like getting out nor even showering. It's really a silent killer that nobody understands. I remember those times as well of I just want to stay in. I don't feel
Yeah.
like going out. The shower, you do a shower and then you get spit up on, and then you have to change again. And so how do you feel about that, Izzy? Has that been something for you too?
Yeah, I will say, just in contrast to what I said, getting out and walking, I didn't. So there's some days when you don't feel like going anywhere, doing anything. Like you said, you can go take the shower and then get spit up on and get food all over, and you can be like, why did I even do this? Or even the idea of showering. I remember showering with Mateo in the little bouncy seat next to the shower, but sometimes it's just easier to not, or you don't feel like showering. And if you referring to having both like postpartum depression or anxiety, I would say, you know, getting outside help. Like sometimes it can be really scary to feel like you have to tackle all of it on your own. You don't. There are resources for you. And always just remembering that like this too shall pass,
Mhm.
because um, I remember even I'd say 2 months ago being like, okay, when am I going to start feeling like myself? Mateo's 18 months. I'm finally feeling like, okay, there she is. Like there I am, because it's one of the most life altering things. Um, and I feel like you can't put pressure on yourself if you just wake up, get out of bed, brush your teeth. Don't even brush your teeth. If you just get out of bed, like you just have to celebrate the little wins, and
Mhm.
you're keeping a tiny human alive. That is huge. Um, but try to do little things for yourself in the in between when the baby's sleeping, whatever it may be that makes you feel good. If it means just like watching your favorite show, I mean, really not putting pressure on yourself, all the things you don't feel like doing.
Well, it's like what you said, Isabel, too. It's like, kind of, taking baby steps.
Yeah.
When I think some of us, especially new moms, or even us moms who are having teenagers too, we take this big chunk and it's like, let's just break it down. Don't think about all the things that you've got to do within 2 months, because that can be overwhelming. It's like, what do I need to do today? And what do I need
Yeah.
to do tomorrow? If I can accomplish that, that's great. There's this old, a lot of speakers use this old analogy. I don't know if it was a military guy that was a speaker, but whatever. One of the things for good leadership or to how to motivate employees and stuff like that is, or individuals, when you get up, like you said, when you get up, just getting out of bed is a huge accomplishment. When you don't think you've accomplished anything during the day, but by making your bed, doing something as simple as that, it doesn't matter if you did nothing the rest of the day or accomplished anything, you can always go back and say, but I did do one thing. And so I think with kids, it's like, let's just take it one day at a time. You don't
Yeah.
have to go outside in public every single day.
No.
I think if you
agree. I
do
agree.
that, yeah, I think if you do that, I think you really miss those quiet, intimate times with your kid. If you're working, don't feel like have pasta, have pizza every day. I don't care what you have to eat, but make it simple. You don't have to make it, but just having that conversation at the dinner when your kids are older or even when they're young. Who cares if they get messy when they're eating? Half of, I think, I'm not sure about you, Izzy, but I know the other two, Audrey and especially Tori, the kids, Zach and Tori and Jerry and Audrey and everything. When the babies are young, it's like, why do you have them in such nice clothes when they're eating? They're eating with their hands, they're shoving it in their mouth. And,
Yeah.
it's like, take the shirt off, put on a
Yeah.
little rubber apron or whatever they have out there now. Who cares if they get messy?
I
Because,
remember on one
yeah,
of the episodes you had Jackson and
yeah,
like maybe
hmm
just Jackson at the time
probably
at your
just
house with
Jackson. Yeah,
spaghetti, and they just took
yeah,
his shirt off, and it's
yeah.
like, yes, that's what you want to do.
because
Yeah.
because
So
I would rather and if that's a stress factor for you, I'd rather not have that stress factor for me. It's
Yeah.
much more enjoyable to have your kid at the table with you, hearing you guys talk, your spouse and you, or something of that sort. So to that person's questions, like you said, Izzy, I agree. Don't look at it that I never get out of bed or I never feel like showering. You know what? If you do it one time, that's a step. That's a
Yeah.
celebration. That's an accomplishment. Don't
Yeah.
worry about whether you're going to do it tomorrow, but you did it today.
Yeah.
What are you going to do today? Whatever your day consists of, or something like that. And
yeah,
and try not to pack so much into a day that is almost unrealistic to accomplish.
right, right.
Just what are my top three things? But you had 8 items on your thing. But if I get these 1, 2, maybe 3 done, hallelujah, you know?
Yeah.
Right, right. We had another comment from Holly Haley. My mom would stop whatever she was doing and read a book to my sisters and me if we asked her. It was one of my best memories of her. I can
Okay,
see
I love
both
your
of you.
mom.
I can
I
see
love
both
that.
of you being that way. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
no
Yeah.
matter what.
And I mean, he's a toddler, Mateo, and he wants to read the same book
Yeah,
over.
yeah. Yeah.
And we have that not rule, but like concept that okay, whatever we're doing, we stop and read it to him. And I can recite half these books now just from memory because of the repetition, but he loves it. And I love that he loves to read books. And
Yeah.
some of my most fond memories of my own mom too are her reading to me. So I think that is a really, really great tradition and just, habit to make in your household because kids
Well,
benefit so much.
you know what? I absolutely agree with you that obviously a lot of my life has been on television, that crazy little people, big world show. And a lot of people made comments, oh, your house is messy. It's this, and that. Well, in the beginning of the show, I was working 2 part-time jobs. And, I barely got 4 hours of sleep every night. And that's why I say, no, okay, I'll get laundry done when I can. I taught the older boys, Jeremy and Zach, how to use the laundry machine, how to make basic food for themselves or whatever. But I should say, I chose to, mop the kitchen floor at 11 at night because I want to be a part of their bed routine. And,
I love that.
I
Yeah.
want to read a book to them. Most of the times your kid is not going to care whether the shirt's a little wrinkled. I'm like, well, it's clean. Or stuff like that. But taking time to just read a book or just have them talk and play. And you're just it's like one of those things. It reminds me of one of those things. What so many people come up to me and I don't know who these people are, but they want to talk to me and get an autograph or something like that. And I remember so many of the kids coming, well, mom, do you know that person? I said, I have no idea, but it wasn't about me. It was about them, that person wanting to meet me. I was so glad to meet them. But I was more in awe that they wanted to come up. But just like being a parent, you're playing with your kid, but it's a lot more for your kid than necessarily for you. And I think being a parent is am I saying this word right? It's a self-sacrifice. Is that right? Self-sacrifice, meaning yes, you are giving up some of
Absolutely.
yourself,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't think
Most of
anyone.
yourself, right?
Yes,
Most.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think there's anything written that when you have a kid, you know what, your life stays the same.
Well,
No,
I
it
actually really
changes. It
I
changes.
respect that about you because people can say what they want about a messy house, but
Yeah,
it's just really, as kids look back and think that, you just remember the time spent with your parent. I
yeah,
don't ever look back and be like, my mom didn't mop that floor. No, I'm
yeah,
just thinking about all the times and the presence and the
yeah,
time spent with me. And I
yeah,
really appreciate that. And like you said, it can wait until they go to bed.
yeah.
Yes, that means you're staying up a little bit longer, but you are just, that's what you do. You sacrifice for your kids. And
But I also think in the early stages that was done a lot, and then you change as your kid gets older. They have to learn some structure. Now they have to learn that you have to do some things first before you do other things. Meaning, you're not going to go outside and play with your friends till 9 o'clock at night and think, "Oh yeah, that's right, I got homework to do." It's really about changing the different seasons. Oh yeah, the different seasons that your child is in, because you are also going through a different season on how you mother a child that's 2 months, 2 years old, 8 years old, 12 years old, 16 years old, especially in today's day. So
I just had a little off-screen delivery from Jacob.
Oh. Oh, how sweet. Jacob just gave you that?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
not too shabby.
awesome. Not too shabby. What a good guy.
oh, I tell
This
you, I raised that boy right.
You
you
did.
did. You
And
did.
I have to tell you this, Mimi, as you're lovingly called by your grandkids.
Yeah.
We were picking flowers yesterday and we saw daisies, and Mateo
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
Mimi, like he associates you with daisies. Somehow
Yeah.
he knows, because if you don't know, that's Amy's
Yeah.
favorite flower.
Yeah. I love Daisy. Well,
So
also my dog's name is Daisy.
yeah, maybe that was
So,
what it is.
you
But
know,
it was just cute.
and that's another thing too, as we raise kids. I mean, like we were talking about early, part of that mental health is take away some of the pressure that we put on ourselves. We are the perfect mom for the kid that we gave birth to, because otherwise God would not put this child into your
Agree.
world, into your life, letting you have it. So it's
Yeah.
like we are the perfect mom for that kid. But I think a lot of times we put this perfectness on what we think society is telling us to do or requiring. And it's amazing how that little thought just seeps into your mind, and it's so little, but then it kind of takes root and it grows. It's like I don't know, just do your best to just poof, shove it aside, push it out.
I love
Doesn't
that,
belong there.
actually, that quote.
Whiz Kid on IG just said amen.
Oh
That's
yeah,
great. That's great.
yeah.
So Vicky
No,
Thompson
it's.
saying your messy house was one of the things that made me feel normal. That's
I did have a
awesome,
lot of people that said that too.
right?
you know,
Right. Because you're going to read the book before you're going to clean the house.
I
Yeah.
will, because I didn't want the memory of my kids to have. Well, there's a lot of things I would have changed, but anyway, I didn't want the memory of my kids saying, "Oh yeah, my mom didn't have time because she was mopping the floor or she had to do laundry or whatever." I mean, I was briefly a working mom for 4 or 5 years besides the show. I was a preschool teacher and worked for the soccer club, and I feel for women who have to work that may not want an outside job, but they have to have that outside job in order to help provide for the family. And to me, you don't need a grandioso house or any of that. I mean, it's like the concept that Jeremy and Audrey do, like date night. Everyone gets panicked over date night, like it's got to be this big, fancy, going out type of thing. It's like go for a drive, park at a park and just watch a stream or sit at a picnic table and have a little drink and cheese. Make your own charcuterie board or whatever it is. I mean, it's date night is really all about spending time together, just like a mom or a dad is all about just spending that moment with them. And I enjoyed watching the kids play sports and everything. If that's what they wanted to do, I would sit on on the deck of the farmhouse and just watch them. I couldn't always do everything with them, being a little mom and everything, but I'd like to think they knew I was there. They knew the presence, and to me, that's what really counts. You
I
know.
liked Nancy Benz Wilgus Beers, long name. Hi, Nancy. She said, take it hour by hour. And I think
Yep.
kind of going back again, if you just have a good day spending time with your child, that's what this is all about, right? It doesn't need to be, oh, I've got to pack in 20 things in a day
No.
to do. Let's just go by hour by hour. And maybe your
Yep.
child, like my son, Nicky, when he was little, he had a horrible time teething. And so if he was teething, I would be that he would be up all night
Yeah.
long, no matter what we did to console him. So he was exhausted and I was exhausted. So just getting through the day
Yeah.
sometimes, like we were saying before, but I wanted to recognize Nancy for hour by hour. We don't have to put this pressure on ourselves.
And you know what, Lisa? That is very true because the thought that came into my mind on that one, we are talking in general about moms and, raising kids, one, two, three, how many you had. But there's a whole other dimension when you are a mom with a child with physical needs, intellectual needs, some other disability. That is a whole, different plane. Obviously, raising Zach, some people would think, well, he was different. He had a disability or whatever. And I said, no, because I never thought of myself as disabled, just different. I could still function and do what everyone else could, meaning I could walk, I could talk, I could breathe, I could move, I could climb, I could, all of that other stuff. But I feel for parents who have that added element of a physical challenge or an intellectual challenge with their kid
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
some other perspective. So,
Yeah. I
you
like this
know,
comment from Donna Marie Carter. She said, the guilt you feel after your kids are grown is far worse than having the guilt of not doing your house chores.
yeah,
Bingo.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It's a
I
good
so
comment.
agree. I so agree. And the one thing because time just goes by so fast here. The one thing I wanted to touch upon too, because I think you had some really good stuff to say, Isabel, especially on your site, which I'm not sure if we can pop that up for everyone to see or where that is. But anyway, um, is self care. When we're a mom, we can go from two extremes. We can go to the mom, which I probably was. I did everything for my kids. I was because not having any friends in a new state in a new area, it was probably kind of easy. I did so much for my kids. I was there all the time and just hanging out and playing with them. And then on the other extreme, you have parents or moms that are trying to fit in so much for themselves, whether it be a workout class, meeting up with girlfriends, or whatever it is. I'm like, where's your kid? So I think, excuse me, allergies. I think it is okay to find a balance. You may not be able to do something for yourselves every week, but I do think it's important to try and do something for yourself maybe once a month, because that only makes you a better person, but I think it also makes you a better mom. And you can schedule it more. And that's a great thing to do in order to have the dad spend time just on his own with the kids as or your partner or whatever, um, with the child, with your children as well. Because a lot of times it's both of you guys together, depending on what your life situation is. But I think it's you don't have to feel guilty picking moments that are just for yourself, whether it be I'm in the bedroom, I'm having a bath with bubbles, maybe a glass of wine and cheese. No one is to enter this room for at least 2 hours. So, Dad, you're on your own.
Yeah.
2 hours. That's a good one.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, I mean, I was trying to find a good segue into all of the discussion about, postpartum depression and things like that. And I remember just looking at your baby and when they're first born and you're thinking like, I would do anything for you. I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
pour all of myself into you. But then somebody said, you can't pour from an empty cup. And I realized what that meant. And that just meant like, okay, I'm focusing, I'm a stay-at-home mom with Mateo, but before he was born, I had my art business and then I had to put that on hold, at first. And so I really started writing, which that was easier to do in the in-between moments when he's sleeping or when he went to bed. And I've always loved to write. And I realized that I have to connect with myself in those ways like I used to, so that I don't just completely, it's beautiful to pour yourself into your children and raising your children, but you can't lose yourself in the process. And many women do, many people do, and it's normal. But I feel like I'm really starting to feel like myself again because I am taking those times to myself, like you said, even if it's once a month. Even the smallest little increments here and there, leaning on anybody who's offering to help, because I'm somebody like, I got it, but we really do need breaks, and just doing those little things. Painting again. I started painting again, which is a huge part of me. And like I said, committing to a weekly newsletter. I love to write just things that remind me of what I did before I was a mom.
Yeah.
Because while being a mom is a huge part of my identity now, and it's an honor, and I love being a mom, there are other things. I was just telling you, Amy, on the phone, like I went and hung out with some girlfriends, and I realized I was that mom who was talking about her kid the whole time. And I was like, I won't always do this, like I'll get back to conversation topics that don't involve my kid, but that's okay. That's where I'm at right now. Because we do put so much of ourselves into that. So self-care is huge. And
well, I think the other thing is too, is that when we do take a moment, because I think I fell into this trap when I did get that moment, it was like I wanted to dominate the conversation because it was so exciting to like actually be talking to adults. Like, wait a minute, like, okay, this is what I think about this. Oh, I saw this on the news or this article. And, it's like, because I knew all I had was this moment that I wanted to get it all out and feel like, oh, I actually had an adult conversation. And then I had to back off because I'm thinking, whoa, wait a minute. What did you find out about all these other people you were with? Because you did so much of the talking, Amy. And so that's why I'm a little more self-conscious as to, I say a little bit about what I'm doing or something like that, but I try. I do my best. I try to hear what other people are thinking too. But like you, I think the main thing is for these moms out here is it is okay to take a moment for yourself.
Yes. Like, don't feel guilty about taking that time, even if it's 30 minutes, 20 minutes, like we were talking about hour by hour, that any time you can take. And I think we feel guilty because we just had these, if you were somebody who had a baby from your own body, you're with them for 9 months straight. And I remember the first time I left Mateo, it was like, wait, where is this? I was just with this human, and now I'm just by myself. Like, what did I like to do again? Like remembering the things that brought me joy and made me happy.
Yeah.
So,
don't you think you have to be happy? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No, it's okay. Just insert her phone. Your phone dropped, right?
Yeah, like mine did a few minutes ago too. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think being happy and
Wait a minute.
having
Wait a
that
minute. Wait a minute.
balance.
Izzy, can we hear you?
Uh-oh.
okay, sorry about that.
There you go.
There.
There you
Oh,
go.
that
Okay.
you wanted to read that comment about finding like other moms, right? That's what you wanted to
Yes.
say?
Connect with other moms through a mom's day out or YMCA, etc. We need community. And I think
Mhm.
that's what we do here. Amy and I do this every once or twice a month, and it's community. We want to talk about things that are going on, try to be inspiring. Amy's, very relatable. She's a mom, 4 kids, soccer
I
mom.
try.
You try.
I try.
And this is why we love having you on today, is because
Yeah.
these things for us, I mean, how old is Jacob now?
26.
26. So 26 years ago
Yeah.
was the last time Amy had the baby going on. Mine was 23. So it's great to, kind of get back in and talk about these things because they're relatable to so many people. And
Well,
go ahead.
that's true. That's the mommy and me. The library has been our saving grace.
I
We
know. I
go.
want to read at the
I know
library.
that's what I was
Our
gonna
2
say.
local libraries.
You should volunteer at
Yeah.
the smaller library, but going to the library, they have these group activities, and you meet so many moms who are it's because it's for different ages. So you meet people who are going through very similar things. You can be like, oh my gosh, last night was a long night because of teething, and they're like, girl, me too, because your kid is the same age. And that's been so fun. We have a
Yeah.
friend whose baby has the same birthday as Mateo, so they're like birthday buddies, and it's just really nice to sit there and just connect, because I'm one of the first of my friends to have a baby. And so a lot of my friends, they love my son so much, but they can't relate necessarily to my motherhood.
Yes.
And so it's really nice to have I mean, I have my sister-in-laws too, but just other moms, you're out and you're like, can I grab you a coffee, meet you at the library? It's been really nice. So
Yeah, that's
any
awesome.
activities local to you?
I had a group of, there were 4 of us, and it all started with my veterinarian. They had adopted a little girl who was the same age as Nikki, at like 2 years old. And then they had 2 other clients. And so we all started getting together because it was a neighborhood veterinarian. And it was so cool. We'd go
I
like
love
once a
that.
week and do a play date. So it can happen anywhere,
Yeah, anywhere. Anywhere
Yes.
that they have, you
Hey,
know.
here's a couple of things. I want to read this one question we didn't get to yet, and I think this is pretty key and important too. Um, let your children, even this is from Donna. Let your children, even toddlers, help with housework. They feel so proud that they're with you, doing something with you, and accomplishing something. And when you praise them, they'll want to help again. And I think that's good. Toddlers, like, maybe not 2, could be 2, it depends on your kid, but maybe 3, 4 years old, if you're home with them. And I think that's key too, because that is the beginning stages to me of helping your kid understand life is not all about them, but it's also about this team, this household. We're all living together, and we're here helping, encouraging, loving, each other. Obviously, the parents are doing the more of it when they're young, but to me, it's the beginning stages of helping your kid know that everyone needs to chip in
Yeah.
order for us all to do something fun together, or to have a
Yeah,
clean
and they
house
think
or
it's
whatever.
fun. My son,
Yeah.
Nicky, when he was little, he didn't want to play with toys. He wanted to wash dishes all day.
Yeah.
Just being a sink. He's very tactile, and everything was the soap and the scrubbing, and make it fun so it doesn't seem like a job later.
Yeah. Just like reminding them that it takes a team to make a household
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
And instead of, just like, oh, it's this chore I have to do. And, instead of dreading it, it could just be an
Yeah.
understanding that, hey, everybody, like you said, chips in.
Yeah.
And you can even alternate it, and just like, yeah, changing because I remember growing up, I still don't like love doing the dishes, but you do what you have to do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think just because of the way it was framed was that
Yeah.
it's just a chore and you're
I don't
draining.
like doing laundry.
Really? That's your thing?
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, it's like,
Me,
the other night, even right now, it's just Chris and I. The other night, I was busy looking at recipes. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot my laundry. When did I start that? Oh, yesterday. So I had to redo it
Yeah.
to kind of like, freshen it up and everything.
freshen
And
it up.
then when it stopped, I'm like, okay, yeah, I got to put it in the dryer. Okay, let's put it in the dryer, shake the
Yeah.
clothes out, put it in the dryer.
And it feels like
Then when
it's
the
never ending.
Yeah, and then when the dryer's done, I'm like, "Okay, when did this stop? Huh, I gotta pull oh, yeah, it's still there."
I had my kids doing their own laundry by like third
Yeah,
grade. I had a step
yeah.
ladder and they could
By
put
the
the
third
pot in.
grade?
Yes, they knew how to work the washing machine and then go to the
That's
dryer. And
genius.
yeah, yeah, because I had
I
older
yeah.
kids prior to that, and they would just keep all their laundry in a pile over in the corner and say, I don't have any clothes. We have to get clothes. I don't have any. And I'm like, there's a pile over there. So with
Yeah.
the younger kids, I'm like, oh no, see how it is to wash your clothes?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you'll know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had the kids start, when I went back to work, like, 6th or 7th grade. I think they were in junior high. But
Well,
let's,
yeah.
go on, Izzy.
I was just thinking about laundry at this age, and like you said about meals, it's like if I put him in his outfit for a meal, that shirt is dirty, or we just take the shirt off. I'm
Yeah.
doing less laundry. So I learned that pretty quickly. And they make these bibs now. I don't know if you've seen them, but they're these like all full body bibs.
Oh, really?
And so
Yeah.
some have long sleeve and I have a short
I
sleeve
haven't
one.
seen
So
that.
you can just take that is
Yeah.
nice because Mateo just loves to get like you say yogurt, and I'll look over at him like, "How's it in your hair? It's in your eyelashes." Like now you need a
Well
bath, and I'm
well,
just
I
trying to
tell
give you a
you,
snack.
I used to always wear an apron because my mom and
Yeah,
dad were they like things neat. But
yeah,
anyway, I had an apron, and it's like lima beans. Oh yuck! As a kid, we're eating these lima beans, and we had to eat our food. So the whole table was empty, and I still had to sit there because I wasn't done eating. Well, I tell you, when no one was looking, guess what I did? I grabbed some of the lima beans and I put it in the apron pocket. Oh yeah, oh yeah, good. I put some more in there.
Oh
I'm
my
like, okay, I'm done.
gosh.
And then I'd pretend I didn't forgot to take my apron off, and I'd go to the bathroom, dump it in the toilet, and flush it.
wow.
That is classic. That
Oh
was a
yeah,
good one. I'll tell
yeah.
you. I haven't heard
I
of
know. I was
that
gonna
one
say,
before.
Oh yeah,
learn
Mm-mm.
something new about my mother-in-law today.
oh yeah. No, no, I used to do that a
I
lot.
just used a napkin.
We always
Well,
had dogs, so just
hey,
throw it.
listen, let's see if we have any more questions. Let's give some shout out to some people. You guys, thank you so much for Naveed, if you could put up Isabel's Substack thing again or something. Her link to it, that would be great. But first of all, I want to thank, we're not quite done yet, but I want to thank Izzy so much for joining us. I hope you had a good time and
Yeah.
just, conversations, and feel free to ask Lisa or I a question about being older moms and grandmas. But thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, we got Orlando saying hi. We
I do
have
have a
Utah.
question.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, I know you have to shout more people out, so you can do that. I'll
Yeah.
simmer on
No,
my
no, go
question.
on.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Thanks, Naveed.
What's something that thank you for putting, that's my Substack for those who can see it.
Mhm.
If you're on IG,
You know what? First of all, when we say that, give people an idea what a Substack is, because when
Okay.
you first did that, I was like, Substack, what is
Amy
that?
and I are like, what is that?
I know. Well,
I even
so to
asked
paint you a
Naveed,
picture,
what is that?
I know there's so many new social media things.
Yeah.
Instagram is kind of a place where you share your photos and you can have a caption, but your captions can only be so long. So for a writer like myself, you want to do more. I've had various blogs before, but I found Substack, and it's where other writers that I follow were starting to use. And I thought, oh, cool. So I'll check it out, see what it is. You can do so it's free. You just type in your email and you can I do a Sunday newsletter. So I send out to your inbox a newsletter about different topics, just things on my heart.
So it's a different
Inbox.
way of doing a blog. It's more of a newsletter blog type of form. You're
Yeah.
just getting it in a different format.
Yeah, so it's like a blog in a different format where you read a blog post and it's kind of on the blog. Whereas if I put out a Substack, I'm sending it directly to your email inbox. So that's kind of nice because it feels a little bit more intimate, like the
Hmm.
old days where we emailed each other
Yeah.
instead of using apps to connect.
Yeah.
Although it is an app, there is an app, but I do a lot of the talking on my Substack just on my desktop. And
So
then I also have.
this is just a different way through Instagram for people to find you, and you're writing these newsletters that are very thoughtful, impactful, informative from your perspective, like starting somewhere is that's the title of that newsletter, correct?
Yeah, I mean, starting somewhere is the name of it. So it's just me being like,
Oh, okay,
I
got it.
always wanted to be a writer. I've always wanted to write books, and I've just always been kind of like held myself back. So I'm like, the name of it is like, I'm just starting with where I'm at, and I'm just going for it. And even though it's very vulnerable. So as a writer, you're sharing some of my favorite writers like Elizabeth Gilbert, Glennon Doyle, people like that who just kind of
Hmm.
bear it all. And I remember reading their books like, oh my goodness, they shared that with the world. But I think all the best writers do. They're very honest. And so, yeah, so I have a paid option or a free option. It's just free to put in your email, and then you can upgrade to paid if you want.
Hmm.
So
Well,
yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah,
no, good. It's and you guys, I know she's my daughter-in-law, but it's just like what Audrey and Jeremy do. I am so inspired by my kids, and I learned from them. I remember back in the day, someone says, "Well, how can you learn from your kids?" And blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Oh, people, you're missing out on something if you cannot learn from your kids, even though you're the mom or the grandmother or something, because what you're really learning is that you're being a part of their experience when you were that age, but now they're here at that age, and them being whatever age it is different than when I was at that age, and just feeling a connection and learning and like, wow, yeah, oh, I wish I would have known that. And so anyway, Isabel writes some really good stuff that it's impactful and it's from her perspective, but I think
Yes.
anyone who reads it can also get something out of it to help themselves in wherever they're at as well. So
yeah. I think we all can benefit when we're vulnerable and like we just can, put our
share
hearts
when we're
out there
willing to
and
share.
share.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, regarding motherhood, oh my, oh boy, sorry, baby. And speaking of motherhood,
The baby buzzer just went off.
I know he's like, where are you?
So
Um,
be prepared, people. She may have to suddenly go, so that's
yes,
okay.
but I think that I remember before I was a mom and other moms would talk about motherhood is hard. And I thought in my head, like, why would they say that? Why would you say that? Like, it's a beautiful thing. And it is so beautiful, but we have to talk about the hard parts so people don't feel alone in them. And that's like my where I always draw back to for my writing and my sharing, because sometimes it feels scary to put your heart out there like that and open yourself up to criticism or whatever it may be. But my why is that I don't want people to feel alone, and just sharing
Yeah,
those pieces of ourselves can have people relate and say, oh, she's going through that too.
yeah,
Like somebody said, your messy house made them feel normal.
yeah,
Insert
Absolutely.
whatever. As long as we're sharing pieces of ourselves, we'll make
yeah.
people feel
And it's
normal, not
okay
alone.
if and I think the other thing is too, being a mom or even, what you're doing and even what I'm doing on social media and through the show and everything, we also have to understand that not everyone's gonna get it or relate to it
Yeah.
or get something out, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That is really okay. I just have to point out this Jeannie Adams. I love it. She goes, "AM," and she goes, "A amen." I'm learning to be the best version of me now, where we're at right now, from
Yes.
my daughter who is 22. And that's exactly how I feel. It's like I'm in this different season of life, but I think just seeing and learning from my kids, it's helping me to be the best where I'm at as well.
Yeah.
And I think if that is the case, I'm hoping that I can do well by you, Izzy, and
Yeah.
Jacob. In fact, before I forget, tell Jacob, thank you so much for watching his wonderful, beautiful son, Mateo, so that you could be a part of all of this
Yes.
as well. So,
Yeah. Well, and if you guys don't mind, I have a question for both of you because I didn't even
Yes.
think about it when
Yes.
you mentioned it. What is like one thing you would tell your where I'm at, however old you
Mhm.
were when your child was 18 months old, your insert children, you have multiple, both of you, but what is something you would tell your younger self, like in new motherhood? Your first baby's 18 months.
Mhm.
What would you say?
Mm.
Wow, that's oh boy, Izzy,
I
that's
know.
a to me personally,
I
that is a that's a very good question. I think now that I'm at this season of life and where I'm at right now, I wish I would have gotten out of myself a lot more. Um, I devoted to my kids. I will never ever regret that. I think what I regretted was still feeling the judgment from everybody. But just because you feel the judgment from everyone does not mean they're giving judgment on you. And I think that took me a long. I mean, I'm talking. It probably took me when I got married even longer than that. Then when I got kids and went out in public, I had some comments thrown at me. This was before television. I had some comments, thrown at me, and I was like, I don't get it. I love these kids so much and everything. But people would be like, well, how can you handle these kids? Are these kids yours? There's too many of them, or whatever they were saying. And I allowed it to cause a little bit of doubt in me. But there was also a part in me, and I think a lot of that had to do with my faith and the belief that God would not bless me with 4 kids if I was not meant to be their mom. But there was still a part of me that says, "But I think I'm doing good by them." So I wish I would have gotten out of myself and not paid attention to what I think was out there that may have not always been out there because I was so much into pleasing everyone or trying to be like everyone. And I wouldn't say envious, but being a short person, I mean, as I watch you and Jacob and Jeremy and even Tori and everyone, you can carry your little infant in one arm. I'm like, nope, that ain't happening to me. I can't hold a baby and then multitask.
Yeah.
I got to be like, I hope to God this kitchen floor is clean enough because you're going to be crawling on it so I can finish up dinner. So for
Aw.
me, it was probably more as to we each need to do the things that we think are best for our kids. And as long as your kids feel that sense that you love them, you're supporting, encouraging them, but also discipline and giving your kids structure is very, very important too. And I think one of the most important things in that is how you do it. To me, that's very important. I would often, I know you had something to say to this too, Lisa. Your response to Isabel. I'll try and hurry up here. One of the things was I would say, okay, this is what we're doing. You have a choice. You either do this or you do this. And, kids, they're like salesmen. They're very good salesmen. Well, I want this. It's like, no, you have this or this. Well,
Yeah.
I want to go do this or I have to do this. It's like, no, pick. And what I was thinking, because I think I mentioned this before, what I was thinking, yes, you're limiting their choices, but I think you're also helping them to be a part of whatever that discipline is or whatever that chore is, or knowing that they're not going to like it, but it still needs to be done. But anyway, I'll stop there. I could ramble on that. Go on, Lisa. I think you
Well,
had
that
something to
just
say.
shows that you love your children. That just shows all the different facets that you've, gone
Yeah.
through. What I would say is savor the moments
Hmm.
and don't let them rush by. At first, I was like, okay, good. Now they're in the bigger car seat. Now I don't have to carry the diaper bag. Now I don't have to do this and
Meaning you're
rush,
always
rush,
looking
rush.
forward to them growing up. Yeah.
Yes, and it
Yeah.
goes by so fast. In
Yeah.
a blink of an eye, your kid's graduating from kindergarten, then grade school, then college. I mean, high school, college. So
And then they're getting
savor the
married.
moment. Yes, and one thing I didn't keep up with, my mom journaled when she was alive and did some things, wrote some things down, but I never really valued that until now that she's gone. And I think
Yeah.
journaling this
Yeah.
keeping, and then you go through those things with your kids later and say, oh, look, this is what the day you lost your first tooth, or these are things
Yeah.
that happen.
Lisa,
So
I'm with you on that
milestone,
one. Yeah.
milestones. Make sure you journal
Yeah.
the milestones and just savor the moments you have.
And I
Thank
think
you.
for
I
your
just,
generation too, Isabel, like just like my other kids, I mean, there's so many young people that are doing their life on social media, and a lot of it
Mhm.
is business, which is okay, and everything. But is to be a little more mindful, because so many times we're at the zoo, or we're going out, or we're doing this. We're so busy getting that picture or getting a video and posting it, which is okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's okay. You know what? We're just going to experience this.
Yeah.
Or just take one picture and the rest is experiencing it with it. Because, like Lisa said, I think you miss savoring the complete picture, the complete moment that you're in, whether it's date night, whether it's just you and Jacob, whether it's you guys as a family, whether it's just you and Mateo or something like that. So I think for the younger people is it's okay to have a business on social media and your kids are a part of it and stuff, but also take the time to, I think Jeremy and Audrey are starting to do this. They don't go on social media on the Sabbath, like Friday or Saturday or something. And I thought, that's great.
Yeah, I think that can be, because especially Mateo's 18, he knows what a phone is. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, I don't want to show you that, because by me being on it, that you think it's this important, significant thing.
Yeah.
And, we
Well,
don't,
but the thing is, it is, but it's not. And you have to
yeah,
help your kid. It's not important to you right now. Yeah.
yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
I think that Jacob leading our family in, we don't post Mateo.
Mhm.
And I think that has helped me to be like, okay, we get the one photo and then we put the phones down and we're just at the zoo, or like you said, or whatever, maybe a
Yeah.
shot of elephants here and there, or whatever it is, but you're really not trying to capture everything, because it does, capture some things so you have to look back on because they grow so fast. I was just looking at a photo of him a month ago. I'm like, it's a whole different kid. Like, how do you grow so much in a short time? So do capture it, but don't capture so much that you feel like you weren't even there because you
But
were
I
just,
also think it's part of what Lisa was saying too. That's part of, because in your generation, it's different than our generation. I wish I had journaled a
yeah,
lot more with all of my kids, but being on television and just working two jobs, is life moves fast.
I
Anyway,
do. I have my journal here because
yeah,
oh,
you're good
cool.
at it.
I try to journal all of his words and all the things he can say, or just, different things that I want to remember. It says things I want to remember. And so I can just like reference it
And you
back,
know
or
what?
he can reference it.
I think old school
Yeah.
journaling will always be much more valuable than something else, because what happens if technology goes away, or we lose power, or
Right.
we
That's what
can't
we were just
access
talking
our
about.
phone?
Yeah.
Photos,
Yeah.
right.
Instead of saving
Well,
it in my notes app, which I have a few things, but I have it here in a physical thing. And I always think about like, okay, is he going to be like, why did she have so many darn journals I have to read? But I feel like one day maybe his partner in the future will be so happy to have, just like with you, Amy, when we go to your house and we look at old photos, or we have
Yeah.
memories, things of
I
Jacob.
got to do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those
Yeah.
just little ornaments that he made in class, like it's fun for me as somebody has his wife who loves him so
Mhm.
much to look at that. And
Yeah.
so it's like, if Mateo's annoyed that I have a bunch of stuff, maybe his future person will be happy I kept all of it,
the
Hey, I
ornaments are
wanted
the
to
big thing. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted, before this comment goes away, one pin message that I thought was very good. Tim, thank you so much for making a comment on this, because you're right. We are talking about moms, but he said, hello, I know you're talking about moms and their experience, but very relatable to men too. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. So,
Yeah. That's
and like
awesome.
we kind of just briefly mentioned, I think it's important for the mom. I mean, it's so innate to them, having this, giving birth and this baby and this connection and everything, that sometimes we have to give that up just for a moment so the father can bond. The father can share in those intimate experience when the baby's an infant, coming into 18 months, 5 years old, because especially if you have a boy, if they're into sports, and we'll get into, that's a whole different topic of overactivity, your kid. Anyway, But no, thank you, Tim,
Yeah.
for
I
making that
love
comment. I
this.
really appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
we're getting kind of into the 5:20-ish time. So if some people
Yes.
want to jump off, that's fine. But we'd love to stay on a little bit longer if that works. But I
You
did
want to give
want to
them the
say,
code?
I want to give them the code. Are you guys ready for the code? The fudge code?
You guys,
Okay.
it is good. This fudge really is good. I mean, I would not have fudge. People, if I don't feel it, if I don't eat it, it's not going to be on Amy Roloff's little kitchen site, believe
Right,
me.
right, right. Okay, so the code is summer fudge. How easy is that? Huh? So if you want to put in summer fudge into the comments section, we're going to pick 4 winners, and here it is up on the screen as well. Summer fudge. And as we're continuing to talk a little bit longer, we have somebody in the background who is will be picking those 4 winners for us, and we'll announce them in about probably 10 minutes. By 5:30.
What is the code? Oh,
Summer
summer fudge.
fudge.
Okay, I apologize for this, you guys. Here's another one from a dad. Oh, darn it. Where did it go? Hang on. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm a single dad, raised him since he was 8 years old uh, by myself when his mom passed away. I did my best. So, though we're talking a lot about moms and what moms go through, I think you know we can't forget about some men who are, and there's now becoming a lot more men are stay-at-home dads while the mom works, and that's a whole different topic. And I think similar things, or most of the things that we've been talking about, can apply to men, fathers as well.
Well, that's something that I wanted to mention is I try to be neutral generally
Yeah.
when talking about it, even in my Substack or things, because I don't want to generalize and just say I want to talk about my experience as a parent and see you can relate. And that's the thing about sharing ourselves. People can find pieces and parts of it that they relate to. And just being a parent is fun and hard and all the things. So I'm really, like we said, I'm really grateful Jacob and Mateo are hanging out right now so I can do this, and really involved parents, no matter who you are. That's
Hmm.
amazing, because that's one of the best things you can do. I feel like, you can, if you love your career and you love what you do, that's great. But I think that, raising kids is one of the most beautiful things you can do. And
It is. Well, it takes a team, and
yeah,
it also takes a village. Again, I'm sorry if I repeat myself. I never liked this term that Hillary gave eons ago, decades ago, or I don't know how long ago it was, that, she said it takes a village to raise kids. And at the time, there was a lot going on and everything. And I think there's still a lot going on where, um, if you take that term point blank, in my perspective, you can, get lost in it. But I soon realized it does take a village, having raised the kids without family around or really good friends or any of that. It was me, but I also had to, trust the doctors. I wanted a relationship with their teacher. It's like, you and I are on a team to help do the best for this kid. It's not just you, but the parent has to be on that too. Anyway, but I never wanted, I don't think any parent should give up their right as to who is the CEO of the family. And that's the dad and mom. But you do need to ask for help, especially if you're single. You do need to incorporate maybe other people into that family life to help or count on, or even friends, like, hey, I'd love to watch your kids one time if you need it, if you'd be willing to watch mine, or something like that, or having friends when you're in a situation, bringing meals over or helping out with something. But yeah.
yeah. I mean, I was just at a wedding a few weekends ago, and there was a bunch of toddlers, and the moms were offering snacks to all the toddlers, and the dads were putting their arms out so the toddlers didn't fall. And so just this idea of, we all know what it's like, or
Mhm.
just back to that, the kindness from strangers things,
Yeah.
like the other day I had my hands full, and this dad was like, I have 4, let me help you,
Yeah.
just So yeah, we're just parents. We should look out for each other because we know how hard it can be. And speaking of that, I do hear my little
Yeah.
guy. I don't
Yeah.
know how much longer you ladies plan on being on, but I
Well,
might.
you know what? If you need to go, that's fine. Lisa and I'll, wrap it up and
Okay.
stuff like that. So I can't hear you, Lisa.
Oh,
Did you
Lisa.
unmute? Hmm. Well, I'll just say it. Isabel, thank you so much for gathering with us, coming here, and just sharing, some of your thoughts. Like I said, these are, can be some really heavy topics, but I think it's just a matter of sharing our perspective, our experiences, and, maybe someone can, get something out of it and stuff like that. So thank you. Thank you so, so very much for being a
Yeah.
part of it. This was a lot of fun. So
Thank you.
we
Yeah,
keep
thanks
we
for
try
having
and
me.
keep it casual.
Yeah. Well, people are saying they can hear you, Lisa. So I don't know if
Oh,
you want
okay.
to. Oh, okay.
No, I
Okay.
can't hear you here.
Well, I love you ladies too. I think that's what you said, Lisa. And yeah, thanks for having me. We should do it again. We can talk about all I mean, these are topics that you could talk about for a while, but
Yes, yes,
um
yes, it is.
yeah, whether you're a new parent or a
Yeah.
seasoned parent,
Well,
with many kids under your belt, many years under your belt, I think that we're all just doing one of the hardest jobs out there, but one of the most rewarding. And yeah, thank you all for the nice comments. There's so many happening at once. We can't respond
yeah,
to all of them, but
yeah.
thanks
Well,
all for.
listen, if you're able to save your end of the live
Oh yeah,
on Instagram, feel free. If you can't, I'll be saving it and then
yeah.
just
How do
share it with you and
we?
stuff.
If I just press X, will it just give me a prompt me? I think it's been a while
I
since
think
I've
it
done a live.
does.
Okay,
I think if you press X, it'll say, what do you want to do with this? You end it, and then it should come up, do you want to share it? Because that's what I do.
okay.
So, but if
Well,
not, So thank you. Hey, listen, make sure you give Jacob a big kudos from his mama.
okay.
I think he's doing a great job, and tell him thank you so much for watching that wonderful grandson of mine, so that
Yeah,
you could do this with us.
yeah. Okay. You're
All
welcome.
right. Bye
Bye.
bye, Isabel. Bye bye.
Bye.
So, you guys, we've got summer fudge happening. We're going to pick 4 winners. One from, excuse me. Now I should mute when I cough. Oh my goodness. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So I think, Lisa and I don't pick the people, but now that they're grown, but we have someone else picking them. So we're going to announce the winter winners here. So once they come up, but thank you guys so much for joining us today. I hope it was a good live for everyone. So yeah, thank you so much for that. Let me see, what other questions do we got here? Oh yeah, and again, we've got some stuff out there on Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. We're still fine tuning this cookbook that I want to get out there. So look for that shortly, maybe mid-June. I'm not sure, but it'll happen sometime in the summer, maybe middle summer. So anyway, let's see here. Hello, hello. Summer fudge with family and friends. Oh, I love it. I love that. Oh yeah, please post the winners. Oh, here we go. Facebook, Barbara Thomas, Susan Kelly. That's Facebook. And thank you for some of you that went from Instagram over to Facebook and YouTube as well. YouTube, Cheryl Lusher. You are a winner of the Summer Fudge for YouTube. So thank you, Cheryl. And on IG, we have Janet Klein. You are at Gidget Sweetie. Oh, Gidget Sweetie. You get it, sweetie? Gidget Sweetie. Anyway, Janet Klein on Instagram. So you guys, Did we get Twitter? Facebook, Barbara Thomas, Susan Kelly. YouTube, Cheryl Lusher. And then IG, Janet Klein. So thank you guys all for being a part of this. Those that, didn't win or anything, the fudge is still available. Summer fudge will be available for the next month or two. Just go to amyroloffslittlekitchen.com and you can order some.
All right. Can you hear me now by any
Oh, yes.
chance?
Yes, we can. I can now.
All right. I unplugged the mic. There must be something wrong with my mic.
So all of you that have won, go and email arlittlekitchen@gmail.com. That is
Yes.
arlittlekitchen@gmail.com to give you some of your info, where to send the fudge and all that other
Yes,
stuff.
send
And
me,
those
it'll go to me.
Yeah.
So just send me your name and your mailing address and we will get that ordered for you. So
yeah.
yes, we really appreciate it. And if you didn't win, you can always go to amyjroloff.com and go to our website, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, and you can order it or use the scan code as well there. So we've got
I
it
know,
all
look
put
at that.
together. Woo,
See?
QR. I want to see that red, white, and boom again. Red, white,
Yeah,
and boom.
just in time for 4th of July.
Wow,
It's like a
that's
birthday
coming
cake. It's
fast.
full of celebration.
Oh my gosh, crazy.
So, yeah.
Great.
But anyway, thank you guys again for joining us.
Yeah.
Who
Jill
do we
Lane
have from?
Mayfield, she said
Oh,
she
look at
enjoyed
this.
it. Thank you.
Oh, someone said, can you make banana pudding fudge? Oh, that would be interesting.
Oh,
Wow.
we might need to do some kitchen experimenting. Like,
Something.
wouldn't that be kind
That
of
might
fun to
be.
just come up with some flavors of different things and instead of recipe, make your own recipe and do some experimenting. I don't know, it'd be fun.
Yeah, I think it'd be a hoot. So yeah, thank you guys for allowing Isabel to be our guest. Once in a while, we're going to
She
try
would
and bring a guest on when, when we can, when people have the time to partake
Yes.
with us in it. So
Yes.
I think I would love to do a segment on just how to be a grandmother and the challenges of being grandparents and stuff like that. So, share your thoughts and ideas on that as well. That would be great.
Let's
yeah.
see. How about a couple more? Peanut butter fudge. We do have peanut butter fudge. So
We did have it.
yeah, we'll have it again.
So yeah, we'll definitely have it. Oh, here's Hi from Denver.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Ooh. We just had visitors here from Denver.
Did
from
you?
Fredericksburg. Fredericks.
We have Greenville, Illinois. We have Costa Rica. Oh, maybe blueberry. I don't think we've ever had a blueberry. That would be good.
Well, yes, we've had some with berry, mixed
Yeah.
blueberry, but not by itself. So, hi from
Maple
Dallas.
bacon fudge, I think someone said on here. Wow.
That would be dangerous. I don't know.
We have Mexico. Someone was from Mexico here. Oh, pina colada fudge. Oh, that is good.
Ooh.
Oh, Trenton, Michigan. We got Massachusetts. Derry, New Hampshire.
Chile, which again, Izzy's dad is from Chile, so pretty cool.
Yeah, on Instagram, I want to say hi to the Grandma 6. Hi.
Ooh. Theodore, Alabama here, ladies. Oh, that's
We have
nice.
England, the UK.
Oh, wow.
San Antonio, Texas, Maine.
Albion, Pennsylvania. Cheryl
yeah.
Lasher. Very cool. Arizona.
Oh, I tell you guys, if I could retire, I would come and visit all your little towns. I would just so love doing that.
I know, that would be fun.
Oh, wouldn't it? Middleburg, Florida, East Tennessee. Oh, Moody, Alabama. I wonder if Moody is, there was a publisher, Moody Bible publisher. I don't think they're from there though, but anyway.
Oh, someone said UP, Michigan.
Tombstone, Arizona.
Ooh.
We have New York and Florida.
Cape Cod, Paraguay. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Manya just joined us. Hi, Manya, MB winner. Very sweet girl.
Oh, yeah.
I
Hey, I
miss
want to give a
you.
shout out if they're watching. Hi, Kay, my friend from Michigan. Debbie, she'll go on here and watch this maybe later. So, hi, Deb, our friend Debbie.
Yes.
Ellen, if you're here, thanks for being a part of this. And I'm not sure who else, but anyway.
Glide, Oregon. Someone said that's a great motorcycle ride. Maybe you guys should look into
Wait, where?
Glide, Oregon.
Glide, Oregon.
I think it's in Southern Oregon.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Well, Chris and I are going to Yellowstone after Labor Day, taking a motorcycle trip out there. So
Oh, I haven't been there since I was like 5 years old.
I know it's been a while since we've been
That
there
would be
too. So,
very cool. Very cool.
oh, someone
All
lived in
right.
Upper Michigan all of their life until they moved to Pennsylvania in 2008. Wow.
Ooh.
Michigan, I'm coming home. Last week in July, first week in August. I think the last week
Ooh.
in July, at some point, I'll be on Mackinac Island. We might stay at the Grand Hotel one night because I rarely get a
You
chance to
have
do
to.
that, but we may do that. So
Oh.
anyway,
Oh.
Belgium, we have Belgium, Brazil, Peru.
Oh. Another Chile.
We have someone from
IG.
Mexico City. Yeah, Chile.
Ecuador. Ooh,
Wow.
Ecuador. All right, Brazil. I just, again, thank you for being such a wonderful community. It's so nice to all get together every couple of weeks. And we're going to try and do this, right? A little more often. It's summertime. We're kind of back and forth, but
Yeah.
we're going to try and get this a couple of times a month. So that
We'll
we
try
can
and
keep
squeeze one, another one in June, another one in between the two times that I'm gone and Lisa comes back and then I leave. Oh, brothers.
That's okay.
And then we'll do one or two in summer. But hey, enjoy your kids during the summer. Be sure to just have a good time. Don't overschedule yourself. Sometimes it's just fun to play in the hose, go to the lake, the river. Be safe during the summer. Please be safe because everyone's going somewhere doing something.
I know. That's true. That's true. All
So
right.
enjoy it.
I think we're good to go. What do you think, Amy?
I think so. I really appreciate Izzy being here. Sometimes it's really fun to
it's
have a guest,
wonderful.
and I love it when it's just a conversation about a topic that is very relevant,
Mhm.
regardless. And so I really appreciate her being on. Yeah, follow her over there on Instagram and her Substack there. We had that on there for a little bit.
You like saying
What?
that now, right? Substack?
Substack?
Now that you know what a Substack is.
Well, I think it's kind of neat. I think
love it.
It's another way, and she is a good writer. She's very thoughtful. She's willing to share. So yeah. So
There
yeah.
it is, right up on the screen.
And I think the
Starting
name of
somewhere.
her Substack is called Starting Somewhere. I knew
Yeah.
that, but at the time I forgot. And so she has, a variety of topics that she writes about and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for
All
that.
right.
So yeah,
Well-
everyone, tell everyone else we do these lives. We keep changing it up. We keep getting better
Yeah.
and better, I hope.
And we go one forward and then we kind of go
yeah.
backward a couple steps. It's still happening. It's good. So
I've been doing some cooking videos. Some of the recipes that I had to redo. So I'll be getting some more recipes out there. So follow. There's a lot out there on my YouTube channel, Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. So I believe I have a
Yes.
strawberry rhubarb crisp, and strawberries are in right
So
now. So
good.
that is a good, comforting, basic Midwest. I don't
Mhm.
care what part of the country you're in, good thing. And I think I made a strawberry parfait. So there's some other,
Some yummy stuff.
Yeah.
And look for Amy's cookbook. It's going to be coming out. We're talking.
Yeah.
It's right at the end, one of the final reviews. So
Yeah.
that'll be coming out
Yeah.
on Amazon. So look for that. And in the meantime, you can get the digital ones on Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen. So
you can watch the video, but I always remind people, go to the recipe as well, because sometimes I make a mistake on the video, but the recipes are accurate.
Yes, the recipes
Sorry about that.
are.
It's a
Hey,
one-woman show for the most part, so I'm doing
that's-
everything.
but
So
that's
anyway,
you. It's not a big
yeah,
production. It's just you
yeah,
doing home cooking. We all
yeah,
love it. So,
yeah.
all right, Amy. Well, thank you everyone again for hanging out with us today. And remember to stay kind, be kind, and
Think kind.
Think kind.
You
I said it right. I had to look at it. I'm like, oh my gosh. It just seems.
Lisa. Oh, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go on.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you like saying that, which is very, very important because I think it's a good reminder for us when we say, well, I need to be kind. I need to think it and I need to stay kind. I think it's just a reminder of ourselves. And when we're finding ourselves in a daily situation or something, whoa, well, take a step back. What am I doing? How am I saying this? Could I say it better to someone? Even if it's a
Right.
complaint or you disagree or something, you can still find other ways to do it in a more respectful way. The other thing I always like to remind people too is that you are always an MVP, meaning you matter, you have value, and you have purpose. And eventually we're going to try and, maybe tackle just, what does it mean to matter? We all have our own ideas from it, but, I'll share you mine. And, but again, we have to be careful not to get into ourselves so much. Oh, yeah, I matter. I have value. I have purpose. And you do. Absolutely. But so does that person that you're talking to, or so does that person that you're mad at, or so does that person that you think, doesn't deserve that, or whatever it may be. Other people do too. And I think for me, that's a reminder to keep my confidence up, to be strong, to believe in myself, because by doing that, then I'm not so into myself. I can now offer it or help someone else
That's
to do
right.
that for themselves as well. So be
Yeah.
kind and you're an MVP.
All right.
And with
Thank
that,
you.
yeah,
We'll see you in a few weeks, hopefully. So look
yeah.
out for our next post of when we'll be live again. But again,
Okay,
thank
thank you
you.
guys. Have a
All
great
right.
week.
Have a
All
great
right,
week.
take care, you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.